By the end of today's episode, you'll know how to book more work by listing yourself as a local hire and how to make it look like you're based in more than one location without lying. Welcome to the Actor's Career Compass, where we help aspiring screen actors find high-quality auditions, sign with great agents, and book major roles in legit productions. I'm your host, Martin Bentsen, and today I'll be covering what local hire really means and what it doesn't, how to position yourself as one without relocating, and some easy steps to be seen in multiple markets and greatly increase your audition chances. So what does local hire mean? Well, it means that you're saying, I'll get myself to set with no travel or lodging costs incurred on the production. It does not mean that you have to live in that city, but you must be willing to work as if you do. Casting directors love local hires because they're cheaper and easier to work with. So how do you legitimately become a local hire? Well, first off, you need to be able to drive or fly to the city on your own dime, okay? Next, you need to have a place that you can stay, again, on your own dime, whether that's a friend or a family member or an Airbnb that you're willing to pay for. Third, you need to be able to show up on time and ready to shoot. Okay, so you want to only market yourself as a local hire in a city that you can realistically get to within 24 hours or less. So I want to talk just briefly about some secondary markets that you can consider listing yourself in as a local hire if you're based in like a major city like LA or New York, right? So you list like Atlanta or New Orleans, Chicago, Albuquerque, Toronto, even Vancouver, and some smaller cities with active film commissions like Austin or Pittsburgh or Charleston, right? These are some great places you can list yourself as a local hire to start getting some additional work. Now, you want to check the top casting websites in those regions and then just start tracking breakdowns that are there. And you want to update your casting profiles. Okay, so on Actors Access, casting networks, and other ones like Backstage, you can add multiple locations that you're available in as a local. Okay, so here's some instructions on how to do this as of mid-2025. Obviously, these things may change in the future, but Actors Access, you can add multiple locations under the regional hire status. So you go under Profile and then Locations and then Regional Hire Status and just select the cities that you're willing to work in without needing travel reimbursement. You should only choose cities where you can actually be there quickly and cheaply, or again, have a place to stay. Some actors may use friends or relatives' addresses, or if they have a second home. On casting networks, you can go to your casting preferences and list additional cities under travel/work locations. Again, only list the cities where you're willing to work as a local, and you're not going to need hotel or flight costs, given at least to the production. If you can pay for them yourself, then whatever. It's common to add like a major place like New York City, LA, Atlanta, or Chicago if you can get there really easily. I believe that you can currently list up to 2 additional cities in your profile on casting networks. For Backstage, you can list more than one home location, right? You add locations under, I think, additional locations in your profile. But basically for all of these, you want to make sure to mention local hire in and then put whatever the city name is in your cover letter or submission note whenever you're submitting for different projects, okay? Because in some cases, productions may get tax credits. They might need your address for payroll. So obviously, for this reason, like if you're asked about your address, then just say that while you don't permanently reside in the city, you have a place to stay and can work as a local hire because you frequently travel between both locations. You're not going to like tell them that you're a resident there, but if they ask you because of the tax purposes, the whole point with this is that you're not like lying by saying that you're a local hire. Instead, you're just saying, hey, I can be listed as a local hire if needed because I can take care of my own costs, even though I don't reside in that city. Okay, it's a way to kind of get around it without them being able to accuse you of making something up. A lot of actors do actually do this process, so don't feel like you're kind of skirting the system by listing yourself as a local hire in other areas, even if you don't live there. Okay. Now, you obviously want to prep a travel plan if you're going to do this. So you should make a list of whatever places that you can stay, have them lined up, ask the people who live there, hey, on occasion, I may need to do some acting work. Would it be okay if I crash at your place? I'll buy you dinner each night that I'm there or something, right? And then keep like a small go bag packed ups for short trips. So you can just head out whenever necessary. And remember that if you do get picked, you need to be able to say yes without hesitation, especially if you have an agent who starts submitting you for one of your local hire cities. You don't want to tell your agent, no, I can't make it because I'm not going to be able to get there. That just looks really unprofessional. Perhaps the agent only signed you because of your ability to work as a local hire. So you have to say yes, okay? At the end of the day, being a local hire, it does open doors. You're going to get access to a lot more auditions, especially if you live in a location where there's not that much. If you list yourself as a local hire in a city where there are more, now suddenly you have a lot more things that you can be submitted for. If you're listing yourself as in a city that does a lot of productions but isn't very popular yet, that's also another good thing. Like let's say Albuquerque, which has a smaller film production area, but it's starting to grow, right? If you list yourself as a local hire there, even though you're based in LA, but you can get down there frequently, then you can actually get a lot of opportunities there since there's fewer actors in Albuquerque, right? You shouldn't lie, but you do need to be prepared for local hire work. So you want to play it smart, you want to position yourself clearly, and you want to just stay flexible. Thanks for listening. Now, if you want to dive even deeper on the casting process and you want to learn what casting directors are looking for, but maybe what they're not going to tell you about, I highly recommend checking out my podcast called The Secret Steps Casting Directors Take When Choosing Who to Invite to Auditions. And that's episode number 113. I dive deep on the casting process and share some secrets to help you get more auditions. Again, it's episode number 113. It's called The Secret Steps Casting Directors Take When Choosing Who to Invite to Auditions. And it's on the Actors Career Compass. Lastly, if you found the podcast helpful, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a review. If you're watching this on YouTube, either comment, like, or subscribe. If you leave a comment with a question or anything, I'm trying to respond personally to all the comments that I get right now. So I'm happy to do so. Doing that type of action help more people find these videos and help find this podcast. So if you want to leave a review for the podcast, just go to ratethispodcast.com/actorsuccess. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.